Hey everybody, welcome back to another Crooked Chicken video. Today's video is going to be over Interview with the Vampire Season 2, a series that I'm very much looking forward to. When this series was first announced, I was very skeptical about it, and I just did not have high hopes, but I watched the first season, I reviewed every episode, and it was a hell of a show. I was definitely pleasantly surprised, and really because all I had to go on was the movie from like 1994. So I'm not very familiar with the books, how true the movie is to the books, how true this series has been. But from everything I understand, the series has been a little bit closer as far as Lestat and Louis' relationship. And so I've really been enjoying the show, looking forward to the second season, but of course the second season has been thrown off by all the strikes going on. But we did get a little bit of a teaser from, I want to say, New York Comic Con. We got a little 2 or 3 minute clip, and in this clip we get to meet the brand new actress who is taking over the part of Claudia from Bailey Bass or Bailey Bass. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but her name is Delaney Hales, and I have not seen her in anything else, so I'm excited to see what she does with this character because I really enjoyed the take that Bailey Bass or Bailey Bass, sorry, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but I really enjoyed the previous actress, her take on it. She could have this look that was very innocent, but at the same time very vicious. So I just kind of wanted to talk about the clip that they gave us, the first little bit that we get to see this new actress. We don't get a whole lot to work with, but I think it's the dialogue between Armand and Louis that really kind of makes it an interesting scene because it kind of divulges some of the upcoming story that we're going to see as far as certain characters are concerned. So this will contain a little bit of spoilers if you're not familiar with the story surrounding these characters. But the scene opens up with a group of vampires riding up to this house. We see Armand, we see Louis, and then we see the new Claudia. And they ride up to this very fancy party, big mansion, and they are approached by these guards. You know, you're not supposed to be here. And one of the vampires that Armand calls Santiago approaches one of the guards, kills one of them, and then proceeds to read the memories of this other one to get the layout of the house, to get the number of guests within the house, that sort of thing. And after this, they proceed to massacre everybody in this house. Claudia, as we learned from last season, she is very much in touch with the killer inside of her. She's not one to shy away from the idea of taking a human life. So she runs in, she asks Lou if he's going to come in, but he says, I ate before the play. And when they're talking about the play, this particular group of vampires, they're part of something called the Coven, but they are also, from what I remember from the movie, and if this is not in the books, I apologize, but they are also a group of vampires that put on plays pretending to be humans, pretending to be vampires. So it's very awkward, I guess, but they follow a certain set of rules as vampires too. And I guess these rules are very sacred to vampires as a species and as a society, because one of the things that Armand and Louis talk about, which will kind of lead up to a big plot point for Claudia, is that she is very good at blocking her thoughts. And if you're not familiar or you're not caught up from last season, Claudia did learn along the way to block people from reading her mind because she does not want anyone to know that she at least attempted to kill Lestat, because it's very forbidden to kill your own kind amongst vampires, but it's also forbidden to make someone as young as her. So it's the rules are kind of gray right there, but I guess you could say that killing one of your own kind is like the lowest you could do. And so she's really picked up the skill of learning to block her thoughts. But then Armand says Louis is not as good because he says that he shudders or has a reaction when the name Lestat is brought up. And so Louis kind of plays it off like he doesn't know who that is. And then the scene kind of ends there. And really I just wanted to discuss this introduction of this new Claudia, what she will bring to the table that the previous one did, because I believe Bailey Bass actually left due to other commitments, and now also with the writer strikes, it was probably just something that was going to happen. But they brought this other actress in, and I'm excited, but I'm nervous to see how she does because I really enjoyed Bailey's performance. just for the reasons I mentioned earlier, just the innocence and the viciousness that she brought to the part. And just also, I'm very interested in to see Armand and Louis' past be revealed, because as you saw from season 1, they are together during present day, and Armand is a very old vampire. He's roughly, I want to say, 500 years old. And so he kind of poses as a human with the ability to be out in the sun and the whole deal. And and then he reveals at the end of last season who he actually is to the man that's interviewing Louis and taking down his story. I am ready for this next season to start. We don't have a start date yet. As I said, it's all been delayed by the writers and then the actors strike. They were shooting in Prague, and they were supposed to shoot some scenes in New Orleans. And so we have a lot of story coming up, because the whole next season is supposed to take place in Europe. That's where Louis and Claudia come across this group of vampires. I guess one thing that can be said is, even though they replaced Claudia, she doesn't have much more of a role to play. I don't know if they're going to stretch that out through the whole season, or we'll get through most of the season and you'll find out her fate. But changing up the actress probably won't do too much damage to the legacy of the character, because she's not going to be around much longer. And that's kind of the whole point of this part of the story that Louis is telling this guy, is this is why he did what he did after they did what they did to Claudia, and how him and Armand probably got closer over the whole ordeal. And the fact, from what I'm familiar with anyways, is that Armand did not take part in the death of Claudia. He did not take part in that like the other vampires did. And this is why Louis takes such revenge on them for what they did. And so it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out, how it will differ from what I've seen, how true it will be to the books. It's something I'll eventually have to actually look into, because I have not read the books, but I am very impressed, I guess, by these actors, particularly the actor who plays Louis. He just has done such a good job in bringing this character to life, and just his different take on it versus Brad Pitt's from way back in the day. And so it'll be interesting to see what directions they're going to take with different characters, and how they're going to play out this particular storyline, because it's a very vital storyline to Louis' development as a character, and probably the choices that he'll make down the road, because he reveals at one point, I think it was in the trailer that we got, or maybe it was in a scene from last season, he reveals that he has not killed a human since the year 2000. So it's been quite a while since he's taken a human life, because he's always kind of held human life in high regard. He holds it to a certain value, because we saw in last season he didn't kill anybody unless they were like the lowest of life forms. They were murderers, muggers, just pieces of shit people. So whether or not he holds up that particular standard, not sure. Again, I'm not familiar with the whole story of this, but I am very much looking forward to how this will all unfold. But anyways, guys, if you enjoyed that video, you enjoyed my thoughts about it, please leave your likes down below, leave comments, and subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. So until next time, guys, I will see you later. Bye.